Okay, so I haven't done one of these videos in a while, but I'm starting a new project with a new filmmaker, and I've been doing a lot of research like I did on my last film, but this film is completely different. So this is a brilliant script screenplay that has some incredible dialogue. But the thing that it's missing is how does a scene start action-wise, cinematography-wise, and how does it end? And during the scene, since it's such a heavy dialogue scene, I've got to figure out a way to keep it interesting. So what I started doing is going back and watching some of my favorite hard dialogue movies and Oscar-winning movies. And what do they do? And so I found some pretty cool things. So the first thing is that I really started to pay attention to how there's a difference between establishing shots and storytelling shots. Storytelling establishing shots. Establishing shots are just going to be
a way to show the audience, where are we, where is this movie taking place, what is the setting.
Storytelling establishing shots are where you are following the subject or something that's actually telling the story. Maybe it's symbolic to something, or maybe it's the actual character. But if you can do that, it looks a lot better. So this is an example from a movie I really like called One Night in Miami.
This movie has a great example of where we're following the character, and that is the establishing shot. Part of the story is us following him as he's driving somewhere, and in so doing we get to see the location.
And now we're starting to get almost a POV shot of what the person inside the house would look at. And I love this camera movement right here. So now the gimbal or the Steadicam is coming around, following him. Good tracking shot would have worked there, but I like what they're doing here with the POV. And now the dialogue starts. Okay, so my next example is a scene that literally won an Oscar. This is the scene Michelle Williams gave her Oscar-winning performance, and I wanted to see. And we have a scene that's sort of similar, two characters bumping into each other, and I wanted to see what it was like, what they did to, other than Michelle Williams' amazing acting, what did they do to, like, what camera angles did they get, what did they do to keep it interesting?
So we start with the traditional establishing shot of the water, and then we move on to the character. Now, he's gonna run into his ex-wife, and we're gonna get a great reaction shot. Here's one of her, and then here's one of him. You can see the look of terror in his face. Start with a behind the shoulder shot, a reaction shot, and then a wide shot, and then back to behind the shoulder. And this is the kind of tempo we're gonna be at for most of the scene.
I like her in the middle, a little out of focus. So now things are starting to slow down. So now we're getting over the shoulder, a reaction over the shoulder, and now it's starting to take a serious tone. Now notice when it's taking a serious tone, now the scene's frozen. Now we're not moving so much. We've just got this shot of both of them, and it's really nice. And look how she's on one dark side and he's on a light side. They're on different sides, which is exactly how this movie works. I mean, she's moved on and she's recovered, and he just can't. So the next thing that I've found, and it's not, if you know me, it's not going to be a surprise, is I really like camera movement on how the scene starts. And I think camera movement really keeps the scene interesting. So this is a jail scene from the movie Selma.
So here we are with another classic establishing shot. I love the push out. And I love these lights right here. It's clearly the sunlight leaking in the window. It really adds texture and depth.
The silhouettes of the other people in jail. I love the camera movement here and the tight shots. I'm a huge fan of camera movement on a zoom, on a tighter lens. Beautiful low-key lighting. And one of the things I love about this scene is the amount of angles we get on these close-ups. So we've got a close-up behind their head on his side, behind the head on the other side, two traditional over the shoulders, and then we got one directly their face. It's a really well done dialogue scene. Okay, so the last thing I noticed that I really like is having a POV shot. And this scene here is from Skyfall, from the greatest cinematography of our day, Roger Deakins. So I love this long shot, this long Steadicam shot of him just going up the stairs.
So now we're inside and the camera's still. We see the Turner painting, back to Bond, wide shot. And I love this woman walking right up front. It really kind of adds some depth to, it makes you feel like you're really there and somebody might walk in front of you. Back to a wide shot. And I like how the characters don't look at each other. They're focused on the Turner painting. And it really makes the dialogue interesting. Again, same type of thing where they're separated. And now we get some over the shoulders, which is nice.
But fast forward a second, and when Q hands him the letter, and things start getting a little mysterious, now we get a new shot. Now we get a shot of looking up like we're the secret at the heroic shot of Bond. I think so again, it's something new. We need, at this point, we need a new shot, and Roger Deakins gives us it, and it looks great. And I guess the final thing I've noticed that you can see in all these scenes, and pretty much every scene, any major dialogue scene, is that the camera's moving. Whether it's moving from cuts or whether it's moving on a gimbal, we're constantly seeing new ways, or whether the characters are moving. There needs to be some kind of movement. No matter how good the script is, I think there needs to be a visual aspect. Every movie needs a visual aspect. I mean, no writing can keep your interest that long. So that's a big one for me. So that's pretty much it for today. And if I come up with, and obviously I'm just starting this project, and as I research more things, I might make more of these videos, and just, it's a good place for me to kind of document with me and my team things that I am really shooting for this next movie. So that's all I have for today. Thanks a lot.